hard one. What? Oh my. First furry president. Let's go. Hey guys, CrimsGreyVR here, and in this video, I'm going to be answering some more of your Q&A questions. So, let's get into it. Now, the first question you guys left was, what is 9 plus 10 by Garen Gaming? My first question is to you, what kind of question is this? Like, what's 9 plus 10? Bruh, it's actually 30. No, it's not 30, obviously. It's 19. But still, that's my question back to you. What was the point of 9 plus 10? I'm not that like puppy brained. Thank goodness. A question I would have asked myself if I'm that puppy brained was like, how am I keeping a full-time job? Now the next question is by Freezing Flamingo 595, and his question is, does it jiggle? Once again, my question to you, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Does it jiggle? Like, explain to me. What are you referring to as does it jiggle? Bruh. What? What do you even mean? I don't understand what do you mean by does it jiggle? I mean, my ears jiggle, my hair jiggles, pecs. Because I did some like editing to this avatar, I think I might have accidentally messed something up to it. So like the pecs thing doesn't work, but that's the only thing I can really say to that question. What are you thinking? What are you referring to? What jiggles? So Freezing Flamingo had a second question, and that is, would you rather never have to sleep again or never have to eat again? And my response to this question is like, what kind of person doesn't want to eat again? I mean, like, I guess if you really want to save time, you could, but let's be honest, the time it takes for anyone to eat isn't very long. I mean, to be fair, yeah, it would free up a decent amount of time and that sort of stuff, but no. I would rather never sleep again because I could have literally like infinite time to do whatever I need to, whatever I want to. Honestly, I kind of wish I had that. I could go back to posting a video once a week. Is that, wait, if you think about it in terms of like never having to sleep again, does that mean you're never tired? Like you never get tired too? Because like you kind of have to be tired to like sleep. Like you can't go to sleep, at least very easily, if you're not tired. Does that mean like after work you have the same amount of energy as you started with to rest at all? Your body is just like, I'm good 24/7. Probably. That's my thought, so I'm going with never sleeping again. That would honestly be pretty peak once you like think about it more. So his third question is, which VR chat world is your favorite? And that's a hard one because there's a lot of good VR chat worlds. I'm gonna say in terms of VR chat worlds, my favorite is, in terms of games, I like the Gun 'em Down game. The only reason I don't play it as much is because if you have a lot of people in it, at least for me, I haven't really tested it recently with my Quest 3 headset, but it like lags and it makes the game unplayable. I would say for games, Gun 'em Down or that carrier like fighter jet world. And in terms of like chill worlds, there's this one world I found that you're basically on like an island with water all around it. And there's like areas you can chill at with like benches and stuff. And there's like a really beautiful like night sky kind of thing. And there's like a full moon and all that. Yeah, there's like also like a random dragon that was flying around. That was a really cool thing about it. I'm not sure if they still have that in the world. The next question that he had is, if I had $1 billion, what would I spend it on? I would say for if I had $1 billion, I would definitely first pay off all my debts immediately because I don't want to have to deal with that at all anymore. And definitely quit my job and then maybe buy my own place and then like focus on YouTube stuff. Because if you have $1 billion just from like paying off student loans and stuff, it's not going to be that much. Because thankfully I have under 100,000, nowhere close to 100,000 student debt. Thank goodness. Oh, but yes, I'd pay student debt, and like loans, all that annoying stuff. And then with the rest of the money, I don't know. I'd probably invest some of it. Kind of the stock market kind of idea. Beyond that, I don't know what I would do with that. Go on a vacation for once. Go on an actual vacation. Go on a vacation to like, my first thought was Cuba. I mean, it would be interesting to visit Cuba, but I don't think you could. Freezing's final question is, if your Sona was real, would he cause problems for the world or help the world any way he could? That is a good question. I would say he'd be kind of a gremlin, not gonna lie. But overall, because personality-wise, he's pretty chill, like me. So I don't think he would do much, honestly. He'd probably just chill, hang out. But honestly, he'd probably like troll people. I feel like he would purposely go out at night and then like troll people and make them think they saw like a dog man or something. That would be so funny. Yeah, something like that. But I don't think he would be super villain level of like threat. Though I think I mean, he could possibly get involved in government stuff. That would be kind of funny. Just be like, first furry president. Let's go. The furry dictatorship. You must all convert to the furries. The furries, yeah. Anyways, only furs. This country will be run by the only furs. Oh no. You cracker. You sour cream drinker. Flour tortilla. Looking milk jug. Oh my gosh. The worst thing that he would do is that he would get in government and somehow become president or something and then just like become a dictator. That's like the worst thing that could happen if he existed, which honestly I'd be down. I'd be like, hey yo, but that's my answer to that question. So yes and no. So the next question someone left is from Eclipse Full Moon T3, TI84, I don't know. That's his name. What's your favorite color to eat? I like yellow, tastes like banana. That's his question. In terms of like color flavoring with like candies, for example, like hard candy or like chewy candies, sometimes I like the strawberry or the cherry flavors, like the reddish flavors. But if we're talking about like Starburst and that sort of kind of idea, no, I don't really like Starburst because I feel like their flavor is a little too tart. I mean, they're probably the most realistic flavor-wise because if you were to eat an actual cherry, it is pretty like sour. Like real fruit is pretty sour usually in terms of like berries. I am a fan of yellow because I do love the butterscotch flavor or banana. I do love banana flavor, especially for like Laffy Taffy. Oh, I love that stuff. And also, yeah, butterscotch. There's a lot of things that are yellow that are like super good. But like regular yellow flavor of like lemon, it's like, I kind of don't like lemon. Lemon's kind of gross. Unless it's like a nice lemonade on like 100-degree day weather. 100-degree day, yeah. Yeah, 100-degree day weather. I know I stuttered, but it's fine. It's fine. Oh, dumb doggo noises. But yes, in terms of my number one favorite flavor, for like color wise, that's a hard one. What? Oh my. What colors are there? I have to think through the colors. Damn. I would say my number one favorite is like purple because I love grape flavor because it's not super sour or like sour at all, honestly. I mean, I guess it depends on the candy, but yeah. I like purple. I like grape flavor. So good. So good. This hand motion's so sad.
Why are you gay?
Don't think about it too much. Don't think about it. Too late. All right. So the next question is from Nye4720. When did you first realize that being part of the furry community was something you truly wanted? And how were you when you started feeling romantic? And how old were you when you started feeling romantic interest in other men? Also, in relationships, what role do you tend to take? Do you usually prefer being more dominant or more submissive partner? That's a lot of questions. Damn. I'll start with the first question. When did you realize that being part of the furry community was something you truly wanted? Ooh, that one's pretty good. I like it. The first time I realized I wanted to was, take note to like my last video where I talked about personas and stuff. If you've seen the video, I'll probably just post like the thumbnail just to remind you guys of it. In that video, I said I had like 2 phases of being a furry. Like one phase, it was something that I wasn't really, I mean, I was into it, but like into it for like, you know, the sort of content. Yes. I would say it really hit in like high school and like towards the end of high school, because I had really started to be like, yeah, I'm a furry. Yeah, it's not a big thing. I'm just a furry. And I've also always have loved like furry art in general. And I've always like drawn furry art for funs. Like in terms of my drawings, that's like 90% of my art. Yeah, that's basically the answer. It's basically high school. And I've been a furry about like, this was in high school in like 2019 or something. A few years at least. I'm just gonna guess with that. It's a few years, more than a couple years I've been a furry. His next question is, how old were you when you started feeling romantic interest in other men? Women, where's the men? Anyways, I would say in regards to that, it's pretty recent. For the majority of the time of me being a furry, I was straight as a nail. Straight as a nail, or as straight as a dry noodle, dry spaghetti noodle. But yes, when I got into a certain executive reproductive projects, I got way more into it.
What do you mean by that?
Like, oh, this is kind of fun. Yeah, you know, if you know, you know. Yeah, it was mainly later in my time when I've been hanging out on VR chat and all that other fun stuff. I'd say a year ago at this point. A year and a half? His third and final question. Also, in relationships, what do you tend to take? Do you usually prefer being more dominant or more submissive partner? Let's just say. I know I put my arms like that. I like being... Anyways. That hand motion was wild, bro. I prefer being submissive. I mean, every once in a blue moon, every full moon, I like being dominant, but it usually only happens if they're more submissive than me. Which is kind of a wild statement. Mostly submissive, indeed. And that was the last question you guys left. So if you guys want to post any questions that you have for a future video, feel free to drop them in the comments. But beyond that, yeah, that's all. Now guys, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to like and subscribe, as well as leave a comment down below explaining your thoughts on how I answer these questions. And other than that, CrimsGreyVR out. Oh.